Okay, so we are live, Mr. Jason. So are you ready? Shall we start this session?
Let's do it.
That's perfect. Okay, so welcome everyone, Hello Crypto Axican community. It's great to have you all here today for this exciting AMA session, and we are joined by Mr. Jason from Suede AI, a project that revolutionizing the way the AI and the music interact, and isn't just another AI platform, guys. It's bringing like real change in the industry by empowering music creator to in a very unique way. So yeah, today we will dive into like what makes SWAT AI so special and how it's benefit artists and why it stand out. So please put your volumes up. And we have Mr. Jason here to represent this incredible project. So let's welcome him. So hello, Mr. Jason. Thank you so much
Wow.
for joining. And as you told me it's night, yeah, but still you are working, so definitely you guys are like so enthusiastic about this project. So please first introduce about yourself and your background to our audience, and then we discuss in detail about this one. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Sure. No, that was a great introduction. No, a really good overview. It's a music generative AI. So it gives people the ability to create music from a prompt. Over time, it'll evolve and it will get to the point where people can actually, get so granular that they can get into their DAW and actually, manipulate the notes the same way that a professional producer would. But what really got me started down this path is someone that's loved crypto for so long and never launched anything, just didn't see a reason to. Um, with the state of the cryptocurrency market 3 months ago, and it's improved, I think, a little bit, not entirely, but a bit. There were a lot of projects that were launching that didn't really serve much utility, nor have a community that they're representing. Meme coins are great when they have a passionate community behind them, not when they're, manipulating mind share, things like that to try and pump the price or do anything unethical. And then the other thing was as a musician, someone that's loved music my entire life and playing multiple instruments, just seeing some of the um, exploitation that was happening in the music industry and the way that the studios, in particular TV shows, were going around the musicians and not paying them royalty by utilizing AI. And I saw that that was an inevitability. And I think a lot of artists don't really want to acknowledge that quite yet, because it's kind of an existential concern. If a computer can do what I do creatively, then I'm going to have some fears. So I saw this as a way to start to educate artists and give them a way to have their own model, which they can monetize and they can direct. So that's ultimately the objective.
All right, that's really great. Thank you so much for such a great overview about the project. And moving ahead, let's discuss in like more detail, Mr. Jason. So can you please basically highlight the feature of the Sword AI and what is like core mission in the music industry?
Okay, so the main purpose of it, like I said, was to allow artists to have their own model. So the way that it's structured currently, anybody can go on, uh, like I said, I know we talked about before, but I'll say it again. There's no cost to users. So you can go on, you don't have to sign a transaction or anything. There's a small token gate, but you can go on there and type anything that you'd like the song to be about, and it will give you a studio grade song. And there are examples ad infinitum all over my X page and our website, suedeai.org. And you hear these songs, and there's a couple that are actually songs that I listen to on a regular basis versus anything else that I'm even aware of in the top 10. And so, that is one element of it. The other element in the next stage of the evolution is allowing the forking of the model so that every artist can have their own model that they own and actually verify this on chain. So if Kanye West, who's spoken up, is actually a proponent of AI as another tool. If he wants his own model, he can verify on chain that that's his model. And any other AI that tries to create a song or production from a model that's not his would be verified false. And that's a lot of we see story protocol with IP. That's what they're doing for intellectual property across the board, and we're doing it specifically for music, and that's just kind of a byproduct of the creation and the nature of blockchain. So everyone will have their own agent. They can define it however they'd like. They can, and the way that they do it is by jamming with it. So they'll play their music back and forth, and it'll start to learn. And ultimately, it's like collaborating with yourself. And that's cool for creativity and for getting out of writer's block. But it's also great because you can allow your model to be used and actually control the content to some extent. If I go on OpenAI and ask for a Kanye West song in the style of this, I have no control as Kanye West over what comes out of that. So I can have some creatistic, definition in the model, and then also I be due royalties, and I can verify that that was actually my model.
All right, yeah, got it, got it. That's a great introduction. Thanks for that. And it's clear that the Sword AI is here to like bring a fresh perspective to music creation, and the way AI is being like leveraged to support artists is truly impressive. So yeah, thank you so much for highlighting that and tell us like a little overview about the project. Moving ahead, Mrs. Jason, after the Trump election, I believe a lot of projects are coming with the AI feature. So, like there's like a bunch of AI token popping up recently. So, what make investing in SWAT are, I could say, different than the rest?
So what differentiates Suede specifically from a lot of the projects that have launched and are currently live is we have an active product, and we're very judicious, or we're very vigilant in trying to get people to go out and use it. We take every opportunity, like Valentine's Day. We told everyone the token gates removed, go out, try the model. And so we have an actual product that people can use. The problem with crypto often, as someone that loves the technical components and can get very nuanced into DeFi, and I was around during the EM days and the 3-3 and stuff. So yeah, I love that stuff, but I recognize that a lot of it is too complex for people to really understand or even care to understand about. So it's hard for the average investor to really discern if a AI project actually has a product. You really can't tell. A lot of it is, very fancy wording. And now there are some things that are doing incredible work. Virtuals as a team, which we're partnering with, is doing incredible stuff. But there's a lot of projects that their AI agent on X is the entire project. And it's just a forking of, Eliza code or GAME. We have an active product that is very easily monetizable. We have a DAO that actually serves a purpose in which we vote on what directs the model and who we want to give money to as a creator to fund as the Suede record label would support them. So, we have a product that people can discernibly go out and try, and we encourage everybody to do so. And invariably, the response has been, "This is amazing," and that's why we have so many really loyal holders that, and people are surprised. There's not a lot of turnover in the chart because people understand that, the sentiment shifts, but the substance of a product like what we have is something that will, continue to resonate as time goes on. So that's a good way to kind of figure it out as just an average investor is go and see if you can play with the actual project, or if there's a easy pathway to monetization, if you could see somebody paying for this service. If you can't, it doesn't necessarily mean it's not worth investing in, but um, it's probably something you should dig a little bit deeper in.
Definitely, that's really awesome, and like having the real world use cases and strong curability is like a key in the AI space, I believe, and it's great to see that like your project offering more than just a hype. So that's really commendable. And other than this, Mr. Jason, now let's talk about the community-driven model because it is also important so that like more and more people engage within the ecosystem, right? So can you please share to our audience, to our viewers, like how does SWOT community driven model work actually, and how does it like empower music creator as well?
That's a great question. And the way that we've structured it, and really the big reason why we created the community beforehand, is the model is defined, it's fine-tuned, it's evolved by the community participation. So what I wanted to avoid and what we were able to avoid was early users having what's called an imprinting effect, where the first few people to interact with it have inordinate amount of influence on the agent. So the tokens actually dictate how much influence you have over the agent, what your percentage is of any revenue share or royalties. And then so we formed it based on the diversity of experience of a lot of different people versus, one or two who think, alt rock is really cool, and then the model can't have the versatility to do a jazz song, say. So the community is integral because that's the foundation, as Suede being the origin model, that's the foundation that all future models will be forked from. So it really can't be created in a vacuum, nor could it be created without a community that's has incentive models aligned, because if I jump on and play with something and it doesn't affect me financially or emotionally or anything like that, I'm not going to really give it the thought that I would if there was actually a financial alignment there or I had skin in the game. So building the community that way was very important, and also that is a way to utilize the DAO structure, which also is very important.
Yeah, that's really very important. Like, I mean, like DAO is also amazing, and the way you guys are working is really very commendable, and like giving creators a say in the ecosystem, like definitely makes SWAD AI a game changer. So, yeah. Other than this, listener, please check it out their white paper or their website for more comprehensive detail. And other than this, I also heard about your music library, Mr. Jason. I'm like, it's
Mhm.
as I know, it's help for organizing or assist the creation of their I'm like artist, right? So please share more detail about it, like how user will like access it and like other utility as well. Yeah.
Sure. So what's really cool is anybody can go on and they can go to suedeai.xyz, and in real time they'll see the songs that people are making and are coming in, which is interesting because we've seen a few times where topics have gone trending, and then all of a sudden we'll see a bunch of songs come in about that particular thing. So on the Suede social site, you don't need an account, profile, email, a wallet, anything like that. You can just jump on and listen to the songs that people are making. And every time you make a song, you have the option to make it public or keep it private. So if you leave it public, then everybody can hear it. And then what's trending goes to the top. And that's where our X AI agent comes in, and it brings the music and populates it into X, to give it exposure to certain, people that are not only well known in the industry, but also might be interested in that music for whatever reason as a musician themselves or just an enthusiast. So the library is great. And then also all of that takes place in the cloud. So we fund all of that. So you can go on with, a megabyte of storage space, and all of that will be stored for you. Your profile, you can log in from 100 different devices, and you're going to have all the songs that you've ever created, as well as all the songs that people are creating. And So that's really helpful, and then that gets into the next phase as well for people being able to run very computing intensive programs like our workstation in the cloud so that they don't have to use a very high-tech computer, which is really cool. We may touch on later, but um, a nice feature.
All right, looking forward for that, and that's really sound a game changer. And I have another follow-up question on this regard. Actually, it is free or any like it's requiring subscription fee or anything like that?
It's completely free right now. There's a token gate. You just have to have them in your wallet. We likely will change it soon, but as I said, I just want people to try it more than anything because most people don't even know that this is possible, let alone that they can do it, which is very cool.
Okay, that's awesome. And or Mr. Jason, protecting or organizing the anything of creation is important for could see a big organization as well, or the brand, or could say a band, a music band as well. So it is used for only the individual, or the band also can use it.
The band as well, and that's one of the reasons why we actually our first launch was Solana, and why we chose to go with the chain was there's technology called dynamic NFTs, and it's coming to a bunch of other chains as well. And what that allows is people to go into the NFT and further modify it and then close it with permission. So if I have a drummer friend and he's, let's say, a country away, 3 states away, I can send him this NFT, give his public key access to open the NFT. He can lay down a drum track or he can modify the drum track and then close it up. And I, as the creator of the initial contract, can deem him to get 20% royalty. So he can only modify the music part, he can't modify any of the financial components, and then I also can revoke that access later. But what's cool about that is, that everybody goes into it with an understanding of this is the amount of royalties I get. I can go on SoulScan or any of the other blockchain explorers, and I can see what's programmed into it. It's fully transparent, and there's no surprises. And there's been a lot of legal disputes in the past of band members, debating how much of impact they've had over the creation of a song. Well, this way, everything's out in the open up front, and a lot of musicians don't like to talk about that stuff or seem greedy. So this kind of, forces people to have that conversation up front, which ultimately protects everyone and makes it fair.
All right, sounds promising. Thank you so much for that clarification. And moving ahead, Mr. Jason, can you like walk us through like what benefit the upcoming cross-chain integration will have actually?
Sure. So this is something very exciting that's we recently alerted the community to, which I think is been embraced because it's an incredible achievement to be working with Layer Zero as well as Virtuals, and that gives us the ability to be cross-chain. As a token holder, that is very bullish price-wise, which is something we don't focus on a lot. It just takes care of itself because we're building really great stuff, but it requires us to lock up tokens or any liquidity providers on each chain, which ultimately pulls from the supply. So using layer zero versus maybe some traditional bridges, or maybe bridges that are built a little differently, there could be no new creation of tokens. So any tokens that are on the base chain or Optimism or BNB, they're locked on the base chain Solana. And then when I go back to Solana, those are burnt forever on the chain in which they were had the representation of. So it's a way that's open, transparent, that the biggest protocols use to ensure that the accounting is always fair. So all it can possibly do is pull from the supply, it can't add. So that is inherently good for token holders. And then also there's a lot of benefits to accessibility to people that are on EVMs that don't have access to the model. Now they do, millions of people potentially. And also, there's other benefits as far as different types of scalability, bass in particular, that allows certain aspects of the music production process, such as block storage, which isn't available on Solana. So we can leverage for whatever particular use each chain in the way in which it's best suited, which for something that is as intensive as our model and music creation as a whole and IP securement, it is very demanding. So having all those options is, extremely beneficial.
All right, that's really awesome. That's really exciting. Thanks for sharing that. And I'm like, it will definitely open up like more opportunity for users and investor alike, and expanding, I believe, like accessibility across multiple chain is a great move. So yeah, that's really awesome. Good to hear about it. And other than this, Mr. Jason, during the introductory part, you have discussed the loyalty distribution, right? So what other way like can artists earn from the platform?
How can they, what? I'm sorry.
What other way the artists can earn from the platform?
Okay, so you can monetize in any of the traditional senses. We've also added on top of that creator fund. So we want people to use the model. We also want people to create things with the model. And, artists are best at creating. So anyone that has a history of either thematic music, so music for TV or movie, or have put out albums in the past, as well as AI certain implementations. And there's a whole write-up on what exactly does qualify. But and then the community votes. But we give $15,000 as a grant, as well as additional support, all the support that you would get from a record label, which is um, actually what they promise. We actually deliver that. A lot of record labels, unless you're Justin Bieber, you're not going to get that support. So you have all the traditional ways, and then you've got uh, all the traditional ways without the typical people in between that are accounting or doing things that aren't necessarily in the artist's best interest, or just at this point superfluous. We don't need 100 accountants to determine someone's royalty check because it comes in real time and it streams just as a conduit through the smart contracts. So um, that's the way every piece of music that you make, you own. So you have all the traditional pathways plus a multitude of other ones. So it's a net positive for the artist.
No doubt on that. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that, Mr. Jason. And I believe artists must be like very excited about this opportunity, right? Yeah. And
Yeah,
okay. So other than this, I already heard about your new edition that is about the Suede image generation. So let's discuss about it in like more detail. Like what benefit does it bring to the users?
that's a great question. Something I haven't been asked about recently, but I think it's a great feature for anyone that's a content creator or has made videos on YouTube, understands the importance of thumbnails. So the algorithm is very weighted against how the thumbnail appears, which gives people, that have a production team like Mr. Beast, an undue amount of potential to go viral and things like that. And also, an artist is there to create music in this sense. So trying to focus on if they're making the right face and a thumbnail with the right color background. It seems like it's kind of counter to what an artist is really, in that circumstance there for. And so with the image gen that we've had since day one, and it's something that I think continues to show what a great implementation it is. The song that you've written automatically generates an image once it's made. You can decide to make a custom one or add your own, but it makes an image that is all within the color scheme of the site. So it's very consistent and uniform. It looks nice. and then you get an image for your song immediately that you also own, and it's an AI image and it looks great. And you don't have to worry about, am I making the right thumbnail? I don't really want to deal with this song right now because I'm not ready to make a thumbnail. It just eliminates all that. It eliminates algorithm favoring certain thumbnails because they know the color of the day. So it streamlines that for musicians to do what they do best.
All right, sounds great, and it's a I mean like great opportunity to all of you guys. Please explore the platform. They have like a multiple features. So I'm like, if you guys are the music lover or just like a crypto enthusiast, just explore the platform. And yeah, I'm like, it's a self engaging platform. I believe you don't need any other one to like entertain like yourself. Actually, I believe so. Yeah, please do so.
Mhm.
And other than this, Mr. Jason, I also heard that there's like a lot of engagement activity going on within your platform, within your project ecosystem, that is through competition, through giveaways. So, what are the upcoming activities or the could say campaign will be coming up in like few weeks so that our viewers will ready to participate in it.
That's a great point. We have so many campaigns going on all the time. We've given out over $1 million in funds for those particular things as well as others in that field. But right now we have an interesting one amongst all the other ones that we have every day as well as weekly. Um, we partner with Mario Nafal as well as a few other very big prominent people in the field, and he wanted a song that he could use on his shows, and so we came up with a couple, and we made all of them in a couple minutes, and we put them on X, and so the best song is going to win money. Uh, a random person that comments is going to receive money, um, as well as someone else gets $500. I can't remember their exact who that was, but it was someone involved with the in some aspect with the creation of the song. But that's just one random campaign. But we always have song competitions that are going on. And what's really cool about the way that the model does work and the social platform works is it's actual organic engagement. So if I make a song on Spotify and then I've got a relationship with Spotify because of my record label, I'm going to be favored right off the bat. Whereas with this, the only way you can make it to the trending page in the spotlight part is by a lot of people listening to your music. So then those songs that are trending can go up for a vote, which will win not only money, but they'll also influence the model, which gives and secures future royalty and revenue. So that's the music component. And then we have, campaigns all the time for, threads, trying to explain the product to people, as well as memes, just keeping it lighthearted and conveying a lot in one image. So we've maintained, typically we're top three in mind share across a Solana. So three, the top three. So usually around 7% of the conversation regarding AI agents and AI in general is on Suede AI, which I still find very surreal. And a lot of those campaigns are what really fuel that. So all sorts of things as far as marketing, then also music creation and more creative elements.
Wow, that's really awesome. So, guys, yeah, just being the part of this incredible community, engage with other community member and do participate in the ongoing activity to earn like extra reward from their end. And other than this, Mr. Jason, I have another question for you. Actually, there's a lot of people, and I believe there's also a lot of viewers right now that are listening. Actually, there are two or three types of people who are the pro music lover other than this, who are not even interested in music, and third category, I believe they are have like a keen interest, but they are not that much pro, so they always like hesitate to participate in any program or any
Mhm.
activity. That's me. So I'll just so I just want to ask you, like, if someone has like a little experience about the music, but they want to be like a more good or want to be the participate in your ecosystem, what are the those way that Sword AI offers to them?
Well, surprisingly, with you bringing that up, it seems like the people that are most enthusiastic are the people that really have they enjoy music, but have never really shown like like you said, a very keen interest in it. But what we did from the start, and I think it's very important, is we've kept it so that the evolution of the model and the features always stay with the simplicity first. Um, Being in cryptocurrency, we have a tendency to make things a little bit more complicated than they need to be. And so you can go on there now and you can just type in a few sentences. Um, I'll quote Block, one of our partners. He said his brain was exploding because he didn't know he could do this and he was having so much fun. And he's someone that never played an instrument or did anything musically or even thought that he was creative. So a lot of people are learning that they have creative elements to themselves that maybe they had friction with because they took up an instrument that just maybe their hands weren't suited for. So you can have a creative spirit and mind and be capable of these things, but just because anatomically maybe the instrument that you chose wasn't the best, you never got a chance to explore that. So people can go on and just type a few sentences and have a song. And then also with the next phases, you'll be able to get so granular and nuanced with it that you can actually export all the data in different stems. So if you're not using the MIDI format, you can actually have audio of the vocal versus the guitar, all on different tracks, and you can produce it just like you would in any studio but within browser, so it doesn't take computing power. So it appeals to people that are just want to get the stock standard version that they're able to get out that comes out, which is fantastic. And it also appeals to the people that want to get, really into the mud and kind of learn about it and apply different changes. And to me, I think that's great because we live in a dopamine, riddled nation. Myself, guilty of that 10 times 10. So kids don't really have the attention span to learn, the music theory behind chord structure or triads. So, but with this, they go on, they write a few sentences, they've got a song for maybe their new girlfriend they can impress them with, and they think that's cool, but maybe it just doesn't quite sound the way they want it to, so they bring it into the DAW, and next thing you know, the way that MIDI data works is they're playing with the notes and they're actually engaged in music theory and they start to learn what they like. And so, in a backdoor sense, they're learning music theory that they may not even know that they're learning. And it's a great way to introduce, I think, kids in particular to music that normally would just be checked out during, anytime trying to explain it to them, trying to explain it to me, even, without the background that I have in music probably I wouldn't have much patience for it unless I was really passionate about it. But this way, you can start seeing the fruits of what you're engaging in immediately, and you don't have to wait until you've learned all the diatonic chords within a certain key. You can just go on there and start making stuff immediately, and then you can go back and start to learn that stuff, which is kind of how I learned guitar. I learned with guitar tabs. So I go online and just say, put your finger on the third fret, put it on the fifth. I didn't really know why. And so I was cool because I could start playing and, getting stuff out quickly. But then I, got interested and I went back and learned the music theory, mostly on YouTube and things like that. And so it's a way to kind of onboard interest and attention. So that simplicity all the way down to the complexity is going to be left up to the user.
100%. That's truly inclusive. Thanks for sharing that. And I mean, like, making a music creation accessible to everyone, regardless of experience, is like something that can like open doors for many inspiring artists. So yeah, guys, that's incredible. Just if you have like a keen interest, still you can join all the social channels of the Sword AI and ask any question if you have regarding the future. Their community manager or their lead member will definitely going to answer you, so no issue on that. Just explore the platform first. Please do check it out only once, and you will love the platform, I believe, no doubt on that. Yeah. So now, Mr. Jason, I have last question for you before wrapping up this incredible Q&A session. So I was just my question is basically for those who are like interested in the project and want to be the part of the project or be the early supporter, how they can buy the token, how they can be the early supporter of the project.
A great question. We have a number of ways because a lot of the users are new users. So we've wanted to ensure that there's full understanding on their end because it's not like a bank with cryptocurrency, as we all know, but not everybody knows. If you lose it or you send it to the wrong contract, it's gone. So we have the typical swaps and aggregators like Jupiter and Radium being the main liquidity provider. But we've also onboarded Mexi, Bitsy, as well as Apex, which is a cool platform that it's a DEX, but it doesn't require any gas, and you can utilize it with your MetaMask or EVM. And then we made countless videos on how to do it, as well as posts and write-ups that you can find. But to make it really simplistic, you can go to linktree.com/Suede AI, Suede AI, and we have links to everything anybody could possibly want to know or do to buy or obtain the token. Bitsy, I think, is a really great exchange, and we chose them because they're one of the few really credible exchanges left that doesn't require full KYC. And that's not so people can engage in something unethical or anything like that. But as someone that's been in crypto for a while, and I remember when, major exchange got hacked and my information was out there. So, to not have to do that, if you want to just jump on and play with a music model, having to verify your social security is a bit much. So it's very simplistic. When people log on the site, don't have to pay, don't have to sign anything. It automatically recognizes their wallet has an adequate amount of tokens, and then they just go from there and they can use it as much as they'd like with no storage or computing power required.
All right. So yeah, viewers, hope you got it. So just hop in on their social channels and engage with other community member body token. This is so important to support such an incredible project. And yeah, I think we covered all the detailed information about the project so far, and it's been like a incredible session. I always enjoy doing a session with you, Mr. Jason. You
Yeah,
are really a great
we do
owner.
too.
Yeah, thank you so much for your valuable time. Also, listener, as I told you earlier as well, ask any question you have. They are available for all of you 24/7. And don't forget to join all the social channel to participate in the ongoing activity or the competition to earn the extra reward. And yeah, that was it. Any closing statement from your end, Mr. Jason?
Well, I did just want to state, like when you were talking about earlier, how to discern if a project's, worth investing in. It's 3:15 a.m. on Sunday, like we talked about earlier, you noted earlier. Um, you will always find me and the team in Telegram working, building at this time every day, including Sunday, because we are so passionate about what we're doing and what we have the opportunity to do. So just wanted to point that out because, yeah, I really think. our entire team is emblematic of that, and we're very proud of that because the product kind of inspires us to do that. So that's it.
All right. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
being
Thank
here,
you.
Jason. We'll see you next time. Have a great day
Mhm.
and all the very best from our side. Bye bye.
Thank you. You too.